Okay, so Dejounte got traded to the Pelicans. It's going to be the 2025 Lakers first, least favorable of a Bucks Pelicans 2027 first, Larry Nance Jr., Dyson Daniels. And so for the Hawks, you are really hoping for a disappointing Lakers season. First and foremost for Atlanta, given what they gave up for Dejounte and the weird spot it put them in with their own picks, as in they traded multiple of them. Yeah, it doesn't feel great. I mean, we get it with Trey and Dejounte. The fit offensively was not ideal, and it resulted in them just kind of trading pick and roll possessions a lot of the time, a lot of floaters, a lot of pull-up twos, and I mean, both of them are good, and it's not the only reason the Hawks were not good. I mean, their defense was horrible this previous season. And just overall roster-wise, I mean, Capella, probably a little past his prime at this point. The emergence of Jalen Johnson was, massive for them. Dejounte not being a home run for Atlanta was not the only reason it didn't work out for him, but also defensively for Atlanta, Dejounte was not what they were hoping for. And, I mean, Nance is good. 2 picks, no matter where they are cool. And, I mean, for what it's worth, Dyson Daniels defensively has shown some things in his career. Offensively, bit of a, we'll see there. But, yeah, you're probably not going crazy if you're a Hawks fan. Just, again, because of how this whole thing went down. Now, Dejounte in New Orleans is interesting because I don't think the Pelicans are hoping that Dejounte can save their defense the way I think Atlanta was kind of hoping, right? I mean, obviously Herb is great. The Pelicans for years now have been a good defensive team. A lot of that off the back of them not getting torched from 3 by opposing teams, even if they give up a good amount of threes. As in, they give up a lot of attempts, but they're second best in the league at opponent three-point percentage. So they do a really good job at, again, not getting torched from out there. And so as a result, this previous season they were 7th in defensive rating. 2 years ago they were 6th in defensive rating. Again, Herb Jones matters there. Larry Nance also mattered there as well. I mean, the lineup numbers with Nance in the game have been good, especially 2 years ago. This year they were a little worse because the Pelicans' whole entire team was just weird as hell with proper lineups and everything. The common thing is when Herb Jones and Trey Murphy are on the court, the Pelicans are a way better team. And then obviously a healthy Zion plays a massive role in that whole thing. And so now with Valanciunas being a free agent, we'll see with him. There's a lot of speculation about Brandon Ingram right now. We'll just put it like that. But he is under contract for 1 more year. Of course, CJ's good. And so you think about a Dejounte, CJ, Zion, as always if he's healthy, and then a Herb Jones, Trey Murphy thing on the wing where, I mean, Trey Murphy's bombing threes and Herb Jones is being a menace on defense. But again, as of right now, a lot of news. Brandon Ingram is here. Dejounte does allow the Pelicans to have more of a classic point guard because for the past couple of years it's been, sometimes Zion's bringing the ball up. That was happening a little more as the season went on this previous year, unless I'm just totally forgetting the Pelican season. Of course, CJ and Ingram served in some of that as well. Dejounte is going to be more of your typical bring the ball up and then all that. And really, I just think the balance with Dejounte is look, obviously he can make, and he loves to take pull-up twos, floaters off of pick and rolls and all that. He shoots a good percentage on them. You just don't want it happening too often. And for what it's worth, this previous season, I know this was not anywhere close to the biggest story with the Hawks, but he was able to turn a few of those shots that he would typically take at 16 feet into pull-up twos right at the free throw line, which is a little more efficient. And of course, Dejounte will have the occasional game where he just goes off for 40 points and he doesn't miss any of them. And then passing-wise, yeah, he can certainly have driving kicks to Zion, who can be anywhere and then can attack off the catch from there. Or he can lob it to Zion, or he can hit Zion on the roll, or he can find CJ in situations like this. Obviously, Trey and Herb Jones as well. And of course, when Zion is driving, teams are going to collapse in on that, and some of that's going to probably result in Dejounte getting some open opportunities from 3 because you have to collapse on Zion when he's healthy. And depending on the Pelicans center situation, whether it's Valanciunas coming back, whether it's, finding somebody else, of course Dejounte could develop a 2-man game with whoever that's going to be. And then of course you're going to have your times where Zion is just going to create something out of nothing, or CJ's going to go into ISO or screen actions himself. They're not trading CJ, right? I don't know, a quick Google search has way more about Brandon Ingram than about CJ. There's certainly a good amount of talent. Now again, the center position, depending on what happens with Valanciunas and now with Nance gone, it's a little bit in flux, so we'll see there. And I do wonder if it's possible that Larry Nance's impact in the team was even a little larger than I'm giving him credit for, just from referencing, the lineup numbers and stuff. But yeah, and then as far as Brandon Ingram, again, there's a lot of news speculation about the future of Brandon Ingram, whether it's on the Pelicans or somebody else, we'll see there. But, if he's here, then of course, he's a mid-range god, he's a ISO guy on the wing, and the lineup data with Ingram and Zion has not been great. But also they haven't had as much time as you would really love for them to play together, just off of guys missing games, right? But yeah, the one lineup stat, and my bad if I'm referencing lineup stats too much in this, but it was just the biggest thing with the Pelicans all year to me, on top of you wish Valanciunas was more of a floor spacing rim protector, but there's not many centers like that in the NBA. Even if Valanciunas will shoot like 1-3 a game. Herb Jones and Trey Murphy together, positive 9.3 in like 900 minutes. Zion and Brandon Ingram together, positive 2 in about 1,000 minutes. So yeah, they're a weird team. It would not surprise me if this was not the only significant move they make this offseason. And you know what? For everything I'm saying about, weird lineup stuff, maybe them getting more of a typical point guard is step one to them not having to shake up too much of the roster. But again, I can't ignore all the Brandon Ingram speculation right now, okay? I've said that like 4 times in this video. I don't know. I mean, the one thing to say with the Pelicans, even as they've tried to figure out just what their best lineups are, it's better than just not having talent. So yeah, other thing to say too with them is they have all of their own picks moving forward here. So it's not as if they just emptied their treasure chest in order to make whatever other moves they might want to make, So anyway, that'll do it. I think we will be talking about the Pelicans and the Hawks some more this offseason.